Hello, the internet, and welcome to Those Video Guys. I'm Sean Harry.
Elisar Cabrera.
And we're Those Video Guys, here reviewing the very best shows on the internet to let you know what's going on creativity on the hub of the World Wide Web.
That's right, we're trying to find those fantastic independent filmmakers who are just making original content.
And of course cat videos as well.
the odd animal video.
Of cats with lightsabers.
So yeah, we've got a pretty good week coming up.
Varied selection of shows.
Indeed, yes.
We'll be giving them 1, 2 or 3 cheers.
Martinis,
yes, or cheers.
And well, in the run-up to Blood and Bone China, the horror vampire web series coming up to their final episode very soon. Last week we had a set report.
Yeah.
This week we've got an interview with the director Chris Stone. So stay tuned for that. I'm
a big fan of Blood and Bone China because that's actually something quite unique and different.
It is.
We have another web series we're going to be reviewing as well, WesternX, which is something else that's actually quite unique.
Indeed, absolutely. Another period piece.
As well. Yes.
So yes, now we like to find all this original content that you indie filmmakers are out there making, and making sure that the audiences out there they know about the good stuff, the stuff that we like.
Now we're coming to you live, as you probably know. We're on Ustream, and we're also on YouTube Live as well. And both of those formats have got message boards, online chat rooms. So if you want to come in the chat room, say hi, and if you've got some questions you want to ask about the shows or the videos we're reviewing or stuff in general, just come on in, let us know. We're also on Twitter at Those Video Guys. Elisar's also himself on Twitter.
Yep.
I'm on Twitter at Sean Harry at Sean Harry, however it is with Twitter. Get my Twitty tweets, and we've got our website. But send us a tweet if you've got something interesting to say. Come on the message board.
Twitter on iPad here.
Come on the message board on Ustream or YouTube. Let us know what your questions are. If you want to say anything about the reviews we're doing. But other than that, we're going to be looking at a whole variety of clips that have been appearing, all the most retweeted and tweeted and looked at and downloaded clips on the internet over the past week. Plus, we'll be reviewing on the top web series as well.
Indeed, absolutely. Hello to a few people. We've got DJ Kellykins, who's tweeting on Twitter.
And what's DJ Kellykins saying then?
Well, I was just saying hello. And Doctor Who con fans saying they're loving the green sweater.
No,
Thank you very much. Well, my green sweater.
All right.
And Elizabeth Oriana as well in the Ustream chat room is saying that she's loving the green sweater.
Doctor Who con fans, are they
Doctor Who confidential?
Confidential, all right. Or are they Doctor Who fans who like to con Doctor Who's who like to con the fans?
No, Doctor Who confidential fans.
Confidential.
But you only have a certain amount of letters on Twitter to write a name, so.
You've only got a certain amount of letters to actually write a sentence, 140.
Yeah. Anyway, for those who are going to be watching as well, Talking Who later on this evening.
Yes, we have another show afterwards, Talking Who, in which basically that's what we do. We talk Doctor Who all the time. Pleased
to announce that both Malcolm Cole and Andrew Cotmell are here in the building.
Yeah.
Downstairs, just enjoying a drink or two before coming up and taking part in Talking Who. But definitely stay tuned for that as well. But in the meantime, we have got some reviews.
Yes. And we've got our first up review is we're looking at our comedy clip of the week.
Comedy of the week, yes.
Yes.
Indeed. And
it's Joe Goes to the Women's Expo.
Joe Goes to the Women's Expo.
Let's have a look at this.
I feel like we're in Martha Stewart's vagina. Are your cycles synced up?
What?
What brings you here today?
My girlfriend told me that it was a women's expo for sampling goodies and getting your hair done and getting manicures and pedicures and massage.
And also to get tampons?
No, not tampons. Where did you get... No tampons.
You're a pretty butch-looking woman.
Thanks.
I heard a lot of girls make hair extensions out of their leg hair.
I've never heard that. It's kind of gross. That's disgusting. I mean, how long do you need it to grow before you start shaving?
So there we go, Joe. So what's this Women's Expo then?
I don't know. You're the convention expert. You should know about all this one.
Never heard about women's conventions.
A convention just for women.
Yes, and Joe seems to be having a fun time.
I'd never come across Badge of Shame, youtube.com/Badge of Shame before. But I was looking through his other stuff, and it's basically the same format. He goes to places, does these very deadpan comedy questions, interviews. He's actually recently, there was one where he was going around London. Did one in London and in Scotland as well. But this is his most recent one. It's him going to the Women's Expo. I thought it was really funny. I quite liked his personality. I liked his sort of deadpans. He was asking the questions quite straight, even though he was asking quite ludicrous questions.
Yes.
No, I'm kind of looking out. I'm going to look out for more of this guy's stuff. I kind of recommend it.
I have seen that kind of done before, though. When even
Dennis Pennis kind of.
Yeah, even long before YouTube or whatever. Even long before Dennis Pennis. It's been going around since the 50s or 60s.
Yeah.
Where you have somebody in public. It's almost like also what was it? What was that guy? Trigger Happy TV. It's that
Dom Jolly.
Like,
yeah.
Yes, it's kind of like thing, almost like anarchic comedy or terrorism comedy. They sometimes call it, where you go up to an unsuspecting person and you make them think they're in a serious environment, and you just give them this ridiculous thing. And how do they, do they catch on that you're being ridiculous, or do they answer the question quite seriously, or
do they get offended?
Yes.
It's funny stuff, and you have a whole bunch of different people reacting in different ways, and fortunately, I think most of the women at the Women's Expo seem to get the joke.
Yeah.
But it's hilarious. No, I really enjoyed it. I definitely recommend you guys go and search it out. That's youtube.com Badge of Shame.
And there's a lot of other, as I was saying, a lot of other good clips on there as well. So, how many martinis do you think we should give this one?
I'm going to go with 3 because
I was thinking more of a 2. But
really?
I'll go with a 3 with you then, if you're up for.
Because it's funny. It was to me. It was a bit
wildly. It was funny, but it's not something as a concept that's wildly original. But
3 martinis for youtube.com Badge of Shame.
Okay, next we're moving on to the Home Movie Heroes.
Home Movie Heroes, and this is our section where it's basically a viral video. It's something that was just recorded on the off chance.
It's called like you've been framed.
Yeah, you're out there just filming something you did.
Except we're not going to give you 250.
And something just happens. It's either off the wall, dangerous, scary, or even funny.
We've seen one like this before, didn't we?
We did with the moose. This one is mountain biker gets taken out by a buck.
Whoa! Holy cow! Shit!
I have to say, I know it's bad, but I did laugh out loud when I first saw that.
But that buck had fantastic aim. I mean, they're on the mountain bike, so they're going at a particular speed, but he times it perfectly.
I think we're going to be seeing, because I said we've reviewed a very similar video, then we'll be seeing more and more of these kind of videos as people are now getting those kind of like
helmet
cams and stuff like that. So
you can film your life, can't you?
So you'll be seeing more and more of cyclists and motorcyclists and adventure sportists or whatever who have got a helmet cam on, and then something goes wrong. It's going to. I mean, this apparently. This got 10 million hits. 10 million hits in 9 days.
Yeah, it just went huge.
Just like, that's insane.
It is.
That's like, only Rebecca Black gets that kind of hits.
No, that grew. That was amazing. How fast that one just went round. It's 10
million people watched it, and it didn't even have Kate Moss naked or anything like that.
I guess it's one of those videos that's so easy that you can just stick it on Facebook. You can just retweet it.
But it's only a couple of seconds long.
I'd imagine
so
that
you can retweet it to your friends.
I imagine that mountain bikers just made sure all their mates watched it. It's
Okay, now they always say, what's the internet for? And one of the main things for the internet is little videos about cats or dogs. So here we got our doggy spot.
Yes, yes, and it's called
our shaggy dog video, and this one is doggy cam.
Doggy cam.
Yes.
Hug POV. Okay, we're hoping that we're back on. Just making sure. Okay, new streams on. Back on. Okay.
Hello, the internet.
Well, okay, so it didn't
that's what happens when you're a live show.
It doesn't like the Dogspot.
So there we had Doggy Cam. And wasn't that pug gorgeous?
The pug is gorgeous.
Pug was so cute.
Most of the video is from the pug's point of view, though.
Yes.
And doesn't he get a lot of looks on the street? I mean,
everyone
just stops.
If you were that cute.
So they were. It's what life would be like if you were a dog, because it's literally the world through a dog's point of view.
I mean, I've got cats, but really,
you've never strapped a camera to them, have you?
No, but I have actually tried to put a fez on one of my cats, but she just goes like that.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Yeah. So yes. Anyway, I like that one.
And that's at youtube.com, Largo Embargo, LARGO EMBARGO. You can find that on YouTube there if you like that. Go into a doggy cam, see the world from a pug's point of view. I wonder how many views did that get in a week or so?
I think it's done about like 250,000 or something. Yeah, it's been a popular one. But pugs, like cats, are definitely YouTube stars. I think out of all the dogs,
I think a toy dog.
Out of all the dogs, the pug.
It's easier to do something. You're trying to do something with an Alsatian or a Great Dane.
No, they'll just beat you up.
Yes, they can turn around and bite your head off. Whereas, a pug, you can tell him what to do. If you don't do it, give him a kick.
And you do see lots of. If you go on BuzzFeed.com, you do actually see a lot of photographs people post of pugs in costumes. They don't seem to mind it, the pugs. Oh.
They don't. My cat, though, she won't wear a fez.
Well, who would?
Matt Smith.
Except for Matt Smith. But fezzes are cool. Doggy cam, pug POV.
I've got to get three martinis.
3 martinis for this week's Dogspot. So that was good. Look it up. YouTube.com.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to our next section. That's Caught on Camera.
Caught on Camera. Now, this is just really, I guess, a kind of reality, real things that are happening. And this one is it's a proposal. A proposal. Done flash mob style.
It's a beautiful night. We're looking for something dumb to do. Hey baby, I think I wanna marry you. Is it the look in your eyes, or is it this dancing juice? Who cares, baby?
So it's called Jamin's Downtown Disney Flash Mob Proposal. Yeah. What happens? You see the couple there in the corner. Well, as the dance goes on, the guy just jumps in and starts taking part, and of course she gets shot because he actually knows all the moves.
Yes.
So he's there at the front of the dance troupe.
That's what a flash mob's supposed to be. Everybody's shocked that.
Indeed, and of course then he asks the big question at the end. It's a fun video. It's quite lovely. It went big, didn't it?
2 million views. I would have watched it if she had said no. That's what I want to see. I want to actually see the more interesting ones on there.
The thing is, if you get flash mobbed for a proposal, you can't really say no, can you? You'd have to say yes.
This flash mob's very much, I feel, it is very much kind of like an internet phenomenon. Because I think the reason people do these flash mobs is because they can take out their video cameras, their phone cameras or whatever, record it and stick it on the internet.
Yeah. So it's a fun one. YouTube.com/MarvelsDanceCompany. I'm not sure that's anything to do with Marvel Comics.
I know, I got all excited when I originally got sent the link. I thought, is it going to be people dressed up as Spider-Man and the Hulk?
Marvel, brand. Well, you know what? It's Disney. Disney is the owner
owns
of
Marvel now.
So maybe Marvel does have their own dance company.
Who knows?
Dancing to Bruno Mars songs. Check that out. YouTube.com/MarvelsDanceCompany.
Okay, now we're going to move on to our web series of the week. This is the highlight of our reviews, when we're looking at the budding new independent talents within the creativity of the film and television scene. People who are working on YouTube, creating the new series sensations And what have you got for us this week then, Elisar?
We have a Western, and it's called WesternX.
Yeah, do you have a clip?
We do.
What if I were to tell you these memories driving you west are black?
God be damned. Black coats. We're laughing.
Okay, and we're back. We back?
Are we back?
Just checking the feeds right now. YouTube is on and Ustream is on. Well, okay, we are back.
Yeah, well, sorry about that. Hello, the internet. Well, sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't know what's
There's
going on
something
there.
going on with the software today.
Yeah.
The software's playing up, but we are back now.
Okay, we were looking at WesternX.
Yes. WesternX. I was very excited by this when you sent the link through this and said we're going to be watching this a week. Very, very excited because I've actually made some complaints in the past about the shows that we've been reviewing. While often very well produced and very creative and full of ideas,
Yeah.
It's the same concept again and again. It's always, we're in Hollywood, it's a comedy show and we're actors trying to break into acting in the entertainment industry. And how many times have we seen that? And here we have something completely new and different, a Western.
But also kind of a spooky one, supernatural, fantasy. It's kind of very sort of cross-genre. It's not. It's
well, I
not.
think that's definitely the way to go with something like that today, because there's definitely an interest in westerns. But I think definitely there's always a thing with strong genres that you can cross them into other strong genres. That always works, and westerns have been done so much, but a horror western.
Well, I mean, this one.
This is a bit of a mystery.
This is a mystery,
as well.
yeah, and they've created their own world. You know,
Yeah.
you've had this big earthquake that's obviously happened. It's created this sort of big X
Yes.
in the landscape, and this cowboy wakes up. He's got no memory, and he's just trying to find out who he is. Storyline wise, it's slow. You really have to commit to it, I think. It might be one of those that some people might prefer to just wait until there's a lot of episodes and watch all at one go.
Well, there's about 5 already.
There's 5 so
there.
far, but I think
Yes.
it's 18 altogether.
Yeah.
So it's it's going to be quite a long series for a web series. But yes, it probably isn't something that the casual viewer would get into. But certainly those who actually are more used to watching web series, like the concept of web series, and can buy into that, would be able to sort of come back on a week-on-week basis and actually, want to basically follow this story. But if you're just watching an episode, you probably wouldn't
really
get.
Got to start it with the first episode.
You wouldn't be able to get into it straight away.
You'll watch it from the first episode and keep on going from there.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed this. I was very impressed with it.
Very well made. I mean, it's beautifully
very
shot.
cinematic, and not something easy to do with something like a western when you're talking about like whatever a YouTube minuscule budget must be. And whereabouts is it produced from?
I believe it's Arizona.
Right.
Well, it says the Arizona Rough Riders as one of the producers, so I assume that means they're in Arizona. But yeah, you've got great landscapes in the US that really that cover everything. So it's good to see someone actually utilising the landscapes of parts of America you never really get to see on camera. So why not? It is enjoyable. You do have to commit to it. It's not just dip in and dip out kind of web series. It's I'm kind of wondering whether once the whole thing is out there, whether they would actually re-edit it into a feature film, for DVD release, for instance. It's got that kind of feeling to it. But doesn't look like anything out there. I think it is quite unique and quite original. It's really is an exciting series.
Well, I'll be keeping up with it.
Yeah. Let's give those some martinis.
Well, that's definitely yet a 3 martini job.
And I would agree.
This
Absolutely
is
agree.
certainly one of the best internet shows we've watched in quite a while. Actually, it's very, very impressive.
Really, really looking forward to see what this where the series goes, where the story goes. Great. Okay. So we have now Blood and Bone China, as we were talking about.
On to another very impressively produced web show,
indeed.
And something quite unique, a vampire series set within Victorian times. I think it must be about the only one on the internet.
I think it probably is. There's lots of vampires, but not period Victorian vampires.
Yeah.
This is an interview with the director Chris Stone, and enjoy. We're at the London Film and Comic Con, and I'm here with filmmaker Chris Stone, creator, writer, and director of Blood and Bone China. Tell us the story of Blood and Bone China.
It's set in 1897, all set in Stoke-on-Trent. It basically revolves around disappearances of people going missing in Stoke, and the local doctor gets taken, and word travels to his brother in the countryside. He has to travel to Stoke to discover his whereabouts, and dark things start to happen to including vampires.
There's obviously a lot of talent behind this, not just obviously yourself, but the people behind the scenes, production design, costume, makeup.
Yeah, we're all professionals. We're all putting our time in for free, and it's a really amazing experience. We're all like a little family unit. It's great.
How easy is it to actually find these wonderful locations?
I'm very lucky. I've grown up in Stoke-on-Trent, so I've seen these locations every day for the last 27 years, and I've had a story in mind for a long time now of utilising all the local museums and streets. So it kind of tailor-made the story to the locations that I had.
Was there anything particularly behind the concept?
Well, no, not really. Just kind of growing up and seeing these Victorian landmarks, and I've been talking to one of the lead actresses for a while now about doing a web series. So something that we could fit in with all our other, her acting and my directing jobs. And then I found out there was a real vampire story, well, a real vampire case that happened in Stoke-on-Trent in the 70s. We've just kind of tweaked it and set it in 1897. I mean, it's the real house in our series is the real house where the dead body was found, and the police officer lent us all the original case notes, his notebook, so it's all historically accurate. From shooting to editing a typical episode, how long would that take to make? Well, there's no such thing as a typical episode. Like, some of them actually done in one day, but takes 2 weeks to edit. Then some of them take 4 or 5 days to shoot, but then it's quite quick. It depends on technicalities and if it needs ADR in, because so we're shooting in museums while they're still open, so you can hear the general public in the background. So it means we've got to revoice everybody, we've got to do the sound effects. So it literally varies in time. I think the costumes are fantastic. Is it easy to source everything like that? Not just the costumes, but the props? It's quite tricky, but we're looking. I've got some really good contacts in kind of film industry that just lent us some Victorian costumes, and we built a lot of the actors made their own costumes from scratch. They really developed their character, made all the props. John, who plays Alexander, he made and designed the gun that he uses in 8 and 9, and he provided all the weapons and stuff. So it's fantastic. Did you script the entire series before filming? Yeah, we got the entire script down 1 to 12, but as we go along, things develop, and some things work better than others, so we've developed it, and then it's all kind of about tweaking the script and the story around people's schedules. So if somebody wasn't available on a certain day, you've got to rewrite them out of that day. Where when you watch it, you'll never know that, but yeah, it's all constantly changing. Like we're reshooting a scene for 10 next week because we shot it before another scene, and now it doesn't make sense. So it's a little bit of a reshoot, and I think we can do it better. Some episodes are 5 minutes, some are 10. Was this always the way it was broken down, or again, is this just something that happened during the edit process? I think that's just happened during the edit process. Each one was supposed to be 5 minutes. Well, I knew when I was writing some were going to be slightly longer, but they were all supposed to be about 5 to 7 minutes long each. But I think I prefer the longer episodes. A lot of people have said I get into it more when they're about 10 minutes. It feels like the right sort of time. I think the early episodes being shorter is the initial getting people into it, but then when you're kind of mid-series, and especially to the end, I think 12 is going to be pushing it right up to 15 minutes. If I could get 20 minutes on YouTube, 12 is of epic proportions, and I think it's taken about 12 days to shoot. So it's a big one. And it was always intended as a web series, or had you thought of maybe making a movie? No, it's always intended as a web series, but it is all going to be stitched together as a movie, so it's all structured with the acts and the way it goes up and down as a film, but it was always designed with all the cliffhangers to work as 12 parts.
What are you filming on? What's the camera?
The camera is the Canon 550D, which is amazing. Depth of field is great. It's really lightweight, so you can fit it anywhere. So yeah, it's a fantastic piece of kit. I'd recommend any web user to use the Canon 550D. But I mean, the picture quality is brilliant, and it's then enhanced all in post-production by my fiancée Steph, who spends hours and hours and hours grading every single shot individually just to get it absolutely perfect.
Thank you very much, Chris.
Thank you very much.
So there we go. Latest little bit from Blood and Bone China.
Indeed.
Probably one of the most impressive YouTube shows that we have reported on from this show.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, we're all big fans of here.
They're coming up to their very final chapter. There's 11 chapters out there now on their website, youtube.com/Blood and Bone China. So
Definitely
check it out.
A show you really want to check out.
Because the finale is supposed to be an epic one.
Are they going to be along with us at London Expo?
They will be at London Expo.
Okay,
yes.
right. Little quick plug. Me and Elisar were going to be along next weekend Saturday at London Expo, which is the UK's largest comic book and
sci-fi, cult,
sci-fi,
everything
whatever.
Convention, really.
It's a weekend-long convention. They get about 60,000 people there. It's at the Excel Centre, London. Myself and Elisar
Indeed,
we'll be there doing a presentation. And who
about
else
WebSeries.
About WebSeries. And who else is going to be with us?
So we will have, on our panel, we'll have Chris Stone, from director of Blood and Bone China.
Uh-huh.
We'll have Aidan Belazar, who is just produced, and they'll be launching very soon, is a new science fiction set in Manchester called The Sleeper Effect.
Uh-huh.
And we have Matthew Stogden, who is one of the producers and stars of Unlocked, the Norwich-based web series about gamers, if you remember that one.
Yeah.
So yes, it's and maybe someone from Sanctuary might also be on our panel.
So and along at that, over that weekend, there'll be actors there from Torchwood and Doctor Who. You're going to have a whole pile of comic book artists, lots of people dressed up in manga costumes. It's going to be a fun weekend, so come on by and you can see me and Elisar and maybe buy us a drink. And you can also see, as I said, the makers of Blood and Bone China there as well.
Indeed, yes.
Okay, so we're going to move on to our next section, and that is parody. This is our first parody.
We've got two this week, yes.
Yes, we've got two parodies, but this first one, heterosexual guys who like Glee.
Do you know anything about this?
Well, I'm heterosexual and I like Glee. I mean, have you seen Santana?
Haha, yeah! We watching Glee, baby! Yo, what up, Leah Michelle? I see you, girl, Chris Kofa, get at me, baby! Hey, Matt Morrison, you play a good-ass teacher, dude. Heterosexual guys who like Glee. Two heterosexual guys who like Glee. We don't really care what society thinks. I swear we're not gay, but we like Glee. Now Glee is a show, we ain't supposed to like it.
There you go. Heterosexual guys who like Glee. From RealChrisNester.
So they're kind of like, they're popular that on YouTube, doing stuff like a topical song kind of thing.
Did you enjoy it? Were you amused by the lyrics?
I was mildly amused. How did you feel?
I thought it was quite funny.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't watch Glee, so I do.
It is probably one of the most gay shows on TV, but it also has some very hot women in it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
No, it was a fun video. I kind of enjoyed it, and again, discovering a new comedian that we had not really come across before.
Yeah.
So that's youtube.com/RealChrisNester. How would you rate that one?
I give that two martinis.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And we're going to now move on to our second parody. We have another parody. Two parodies for you.
Two parodies.
Not one parody, but two parodies. What's the second parody?
This is called the Ban iPhone 4S Promo.
How can I help you?
Siri is a whole new way of interacting with your iPhone. It's like an amazing personal assistant that listens to you and understands you, and it doesn't judge you. It doesn't f***ing nag you about why you're so late to get home from work. I don't know, Beth. Maybe it's because I work at Apple? We're busy changing the world again.
One of the biggest advancements of the iPhone 4S is in its performance. It uses the same powerful dual-core A5 chip as the iPad 2. You think we're going to make this thing slower?
So as the promo continues, they get progressively more and more drunk as they go along.
Did you feel a lot of the disappointment that there was when Apple announced new iPhone and it was the 4S? Instead of an Apple
I knew it
5?
was going to be an Apple 4S. I mean, you only have to look at the history where there's always an S in between the next model. And why would anyone assume...
What got me was they could have actually announced exactly the same specs but just called it the iPhone 5 and everybody would have been happy and bought it.
Indeed, absolutely. But as you know, as the joke was in that particular promo, it's like...
I'm BlackBerry.
You know, it's like, oh, it's got a faster processor. Well,
yeah,
well, they're not going to put a slower one, are they? I mean, you know, it's... Why would you advertise, oh, a faster processor? It's like, or better screen. Well... You don't put worse things in the next model. You always put things that are faster or better or it looks, but you know. So anyway, that stars also KassMG, who's a very popular YouTuber.
He's got about how many million followers?
He's got like 1.7 million on his YouTube.
And this had 900,000 views in its first 12 days.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, you know, hey, it's topical. It's the topical joke. You get it out there.
That was the right type of joke to get out there at the time. A joke about the...
Have you seen any BlackBerry jokes?
I'm very sure that there will be some BlackBerry jokes appearing very shortly.
Well, the one that was being retweeted a lot after the whole BlackBerry farce was the Ronnie Corbett one. Have you seen that?
I have seen that.
Yes.
That spoof.
My BlackBerry's no longer working.
Yes, it's very, very funny, that spoof. Yes.
So look out for that. That's actually on the BBC's official YouTube page. It's Ronnie Corbett. My BlackBerry is not working. Highly recommended. It came about maybe 18 months ago, and of course it's now being retweeted because everyone thinks, hey, you know, it's topical now.
So now we go on to our
video. Should we rate that one?
Rate that. I'll give that 2.
Yeah, I agree.
Yes.
Yeah, it's 2 for the banned iPhone promo.
And now we're on to our video of the week. And what have you chosen for us, Elisar, to be our video of the week?
Video of the week. Well, I chose something that I thought, well, we both like sci-fi, we both like comedy, we both like comic books. Mm-hmm. What could have all of those things together? And we found a video on youtube.com/DeStorm. DeStorm is a American comedian, does a lot of sort of rap and song-based comedy, and he's come up with a video called Heroes and Villains, issue number 1.
Another day, another challenge, another girl. I ain't quite sure when we're down last night, but judging by her smile, I'm certain I did it right. Woo! I'm feeling weird, I think this girl done gave me something. My glasses stopped working and my heart was barely pumping. Took my specs off, I could see through the walls. Going straight into the showers. I got superpowers, punched a hole through a brick wall, but I still had doubts. I wonder if I could fly, only one way to find out. Off the ledge, almost to the hedge. Instead I'm facing oncoming traffic up ahead. I'm kicking down buses and buggies and trucks. Then I outran a sports car. What the fuck?
Very funny rap and some really actually very clever video effects in this.
Yeah, some great special effects and also the look of it, you know, doing the sort of dot matrix style 1970s comic book as well.
I love the whole actual stuff, the way it was done, like frames and the kapows and all that kind of stuff.
Very well produced.
Very well produced.
And funny and really great lyrics, you know, it gives you a feeling. I mean, it's called issue 1. I mean, is he going to make more episodes in this saga? But it's just basically all told in rap as opposed to in dialogue. It'd be quite an interesting web series.
Who's your favourite hero then?
My favourite hero? Oh wow! Oh god! Okay, now you put me on the spot. It's really strange because it's like I'm a Marvel reader, but then you just can't help but always love the two icons of Batman and Superman. They are up there.
Batman I can understand. Superman, he's a bit boring. But
I don't know. I just disagree with that. He is Superman. He is, after all, the world's greatest superhero, isn't he?
No, it's just that they just give him every power in the book.
He can do anything. But you know, they're such icons. You just can't get away from them. And it doesn't matter how many. You know, it's like, okay, I'm only read Marvel, and I generally only do read Marvel. I will still always eventually want to just sort of say, well, what is the latest crossover story they're doing with Batman and Superman?
And how do you feel about the fact that DC has rebooted that
I'm not going to read it.
Universe?
Absolutely not going to read any of it, because it's like, what's the point? If I've invested all my years since being a kid in reading and following the storylines of these characters, and now that entire storyline is now defunct, I would rather just pick up graphic novels of the older stuff that I haven't actually read yet, and just invest in the characters that I know of. You know, this is. You know, Marvel did it with the Ultimate Universe. I didn't follow that either. I know it's had some great writers. You know,
the Ultimates was great.
You know, it had good writers. You know, I love Michael Bendis' stuff, but I'd rather just invest the time in the characters that I'm already grown up with. You know, I don't need to have another origin story and another storyline just to confuse things, because it would just be confusing. But you know, the stuff is. I've read, I think, a couple of the issues of Ultimates, but you know, yeah, I'd rather just stick to this. I'm actually rereading right now is the 1980s X-Men.
Oh, there's some classic stuff there.
Because they don't have them in America. They don't have it in America, but Panini Comics in the UK do these little small-sized pocketbooks, and they've actually been reprinting all the X-Men stuff from the 70s and 80s since the
fantastic John Burns period.
Absolutely, and right up through to I think up to issue 191 they're up to, and of course a lot of that stuff you can only get as black and white essential X-Men in America, but we actually get it in colour.
Yeah,
so that's something we get over them. But it's a lot. Yeah, I like it. DeStorm, really good. I really enjoyed it. I hope he actually does continue this story, because I think it could be a really interesting web series.
I've got nearly 1 million views in 2 weeks.
Yeah, a web series told entirely in rap.
Yeah,
I love the idea. Love it, and great special effects. It's got to be 3 martinis.
Yes. Well, it is the video of the week.
It is the video of the week. So
how can we get anything less?
Indeed. Where's my newspaper? Oh, I got this newspaper here. This was the Evening Standard on Friday. If you can read that there.
What's that?
Man of the Yar. Man of the Yar.
And what's the Man of the Yar?
This is about a British comedian called Matt Lacey, who became really viral with his video called Gap Year. And it was a comedy spoofing
about students on their gap year.
On their gap year, but very posh students. And you're on our gap year, darling, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Made millions of hits, you know, and his comedy troupe, The Unexpected Items, have their own channel, and they're very, very popular. He's now got a book deal. And so this article was about the fact that he's been so successful on YouTube, he's now got a publishing deal, and he's now written a Gap Year book, which is kind of like the modern version of the Sloane Ranger Handbook.
What about the guy who did a Twitter feed of the stuff his dad would say, and first he got a book deal, and then they turned it into a TV show? It was a Twitter feed, and didn't actually put that many posts on it as well. And they turned it into it. There must have been
starring William Shatner.
They must have managed per episode to get 1 Twitter gag out of him.
Well, there you go. You know.
Yeah. So that brings us to the end of our show. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope we've enlightened you a bit more about what's going on the net. Hope we've encouraged you to check out some shows. Please check out WesternX.
Yeah, well, we're going to let's just run down
let's run down
just to remind you what we looked. So those video guys this week, we looked at Comedy of the Week.
That was at the Women's Expo.
Joe Goes to the Women's Expo.
YouTube Badge of Shame.
We really liked it. We gave it 3 martinis.
Then you had the Home Movie Heroes, the guy with the little webcam on his helmet.
Mountain biker gets taken out by a buck.
Yes. And that's on YouTube, MCSMCC. I want to check that out. That's a very nasty looking buck. Then we have the Dogspot for all the animal fans out there.
Another 3 martini job from us, I think.
Yes, the little pug.
Yeah, the pug. POV. He's got a camera strapped to him, and you just see the world through the pug's eyes.
Then there's Caught on Camera.
Jamin's downtown Disney flash mob proposal.
Man proposing to his girlfriend.
It's romance.
She would have said yes.
It's a flash mob.
She would have said no, but you got a flash mob, and then you got to say yes. It would look stupid
it's
otherwise.
2 martini kind of thing. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
YouTube.com, MarvelsDanceCompany.
Yep. And then our web series of the week,
WesternX.
Something completely new, something completely unique. I haven't seen anything else like it.
Highly recommended.
The internet. Very good. Please support it. And you can find that on YouTube. M Flores. MFLORES 57.
Yes.
Go there and you can catch this fantastic show.
3 martinis.
5 episodes out so far. You said there's going to be about
18 altogether.
Definitely want to check that out. Then we also had a check on what's going on up to date with Blood and Bone China. That's a show we all love. Easy to remember, youtube.com/Blood and Bone China.
Indeed.
Wonderful vampire show. Again, nothing else like it on the web. definitely it needs people's support.
Yep.
We had a parody, heterosexual men, like in Glee. When does that happen?
That was youtube.com, RealChrisNester. That was, we gave that one 2 martinis,
Yep.
I think it was.
Then, another 2 martini job,
Yep.
our second parody, and that was the banned iPhone 4S promo.
Starring CassMG, very popular YouTuber.
Got 1.5 million followers.
YouTube.com, OOJLEOO. OOJLEOO.
And our video of the week was Heroes and Villains, issue number 1 from DeStorm.
DeStorm, very popular YouTuber.
Fantastic rap.
Great effects. Looks fantastic.
Looks straight like a living comic book.
Deservedly
That's
3 martinis.
youtube.com/DeStorm.
Deservedly 3 martinis, that one.
And so that's our rundown of what we've had over the week. Over the show. We'll be back next Wednesday.
Indeed.
With another show looking at the best of what's on the web and what shows you should be checking out on the internet. I'm Sean Harry.
I'm Elisar Cabrera.
And together we have been Those Video Guys. Good night.
Reformat this room now so I can need to fit everyone in. Yeah.